Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today you see me in a different position because today we do another cleaning video. It's been a while since I did the last one, and today I'm going to take apart the Nintendo Gamecube. I think this is going to be an interesting video, and yeah, I call the Nintendo Gamecube the screw hell because you will see when I take it apart, there's a million of screws in there. Ridiculous. But okay, yeah, let's just get started. Okay, so we have it here, the Nintendo GameCube, or as I call it, Screw Hell. Uh, yeah, let's start right. At the bottom of the console, take all those plastic lids off. One, two. As always, the goal of the whole video is to separate the plastic parts from the metal and circuit parts so we can clean this. Of course, this is a Nintendo console, so you need, can you see that? The Gamebit screwdriver for the outer four screws. Sadly, my screwdrivers, also this screwdriver with the Nintendo Gamebit is not magnetic. Maybe I should get one of those things where you can magnetize and demagnetize the screwdrivers. Would be pretty useful. They're surprisingly hard to get out. So let's see. All four. Nice. As always, I use my trusty ice cube tray to separate the screws from each other because I call this console screw hell for a reason. I think Nintendo overdid it a little with the amount of screws that are in this thing. So just take the lid off and yeah, actually let's put the console aside for a moment and let's continue with the lid first. And it's the most complicated lid, I think. There are easy parts, like let's start back here with a screw back here and a screw on the other side. There's also the screws that hold the handle in place. Let's get those out. Two. And the handle should slide right off. Now, we have two screws here in the front. Besides this transparent plastic piece. Get those out. Those are the same like the ones before. Sorry if you maybe can hear the helicopter outside. Strange. Mm. Okay, then this transparent plastic piece comes out. Then we need to push the buttons out. Um, as always, you have to push. I know it's kind of hard to see, guys. You've had to push these. It's the same with every console. These back and through on both sides. Usually it's best to do this with the fingers, but the space in here is so tight. Got it. and then just push it through to the other side. Button number 1, this was the power button. Here we have the reset button. Same thing, push the two plastic prongs together and push the button through on the other side. Okay, this went out easier. Now we have here the open mechanic here in the front. And now the open mechanic and the lid. Really guys, just unscrew this thing if you have done this before, maybe with another console or something like that, because it's not easy to get this stuff back together. I will unscrew it. Here in the front we have different screws. Can you see that? They have a little edge around them. Those are the screws around the open button. And then the black plastic pieces should come right out with the spring. This part. And of course there is the open button underneath that. That's the same process. Push the metal prongs. I always say metal, sorry guys. The plastic prongs together and then push it through. So now that's out. And we have the back here left. There are two screws. First on this side. And the black plastic piece comes right out with it. Those are the same as before. So only the two here in the front, the two screws were different. And it springs right out because there's pressure on the spiral here. This piece out, and there is another plastic piece, a little one in there, this one out, and now we have the lid off. This is just a piece of plastic. This you can. There is a black grid in here that also comes right out. It's just sitting on top. It's no screws holding that in place. But now we have just plastic parts we can put aside and clean under the sink. Here we have one step more with the lid. We can get the black piece out. There are two plastic prongs here and here. And just with the same with the buttons, just push them together and then it should come right out on the other side. Maybe push a little through with the screwdriver. And now we have the Gamecube thing out too. So we can wash these pieces under the sink as well. That was just the lid. Pretty complicated already. Get the handle out of the way. And now the console. The back piece should come right off. So also just a piece of plastic. And now we kind of work around. I show you some important spots here. These two plastic prongs, you need to make sure these are clean because with this, the GameCube knows if the lid is closed or not. So if those things are dirty, then the console might not function properly. This is the power button. And here is the reset button in the front. And I'm kind of curious that there are a lot of people out there who don't notice. But here on top, this is the GameCube disk drive. This is actually a button. So if you have a GameCube disk in there, just don't rip it out manually. Push here in the middle, and you can see how the disk gets released. Okay. Then continue with the front piece here. This is also holds by these plastic clamps here. So just push it to the front and then out, but be careful. There is a ribbon connected there. Can you guys see that? There is a ribbon connected down here and it's just plugged in. So you just need to gently unplug it, means pull it out. Yeah, then we have this piece. Of course, we need to separate this piece from the plastic as well. So there's one screw here and one screw here. These are, let's use the next thing in my ice cube tray. But they seem to be the same, like the ones in the lid. Okay, now those two screws are out. You can just take this thing off. And we have our next plastic piece. This board and the battery all look in a pretty nice condition. I bought this GameCube used, but yeah, let's put that aside for now and continue with the console, because we are not done yet. Let's continue with the side of the fan, actually. There is one screw here and one here. Take those two screws out. No, it won't come out. One, two. And the fan should come off, but yes. We need to unplug it too. It's the black and red cable here. Just gently pull it out and detach that. And now we have the fan here. This, of course, if you buy this console and you want to clean it properly before using it, almost always the fan is very dirty, but mine isn't. But we put that aside for now. And now we have, let's continue on the front side with 1, 2, 1, 2 screws beside the memory card ports. Those are smaller ones. My screwdriver fits. Those are long, thinner ones. Keep that in mind. Three and the fourth one. The GameCube is actually, I think at least, is pretty fun to console to work a little bit with it, to learn all this stuff of how to take a console apart, because I don't know how to say this. I think it's very logically built. Then those small metal things come off. And now you can see why I call this thing. There were a lot of screws already, but there are now holding the laser assembly in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And there is one missing. 12 screws. Yeah, get those out. There is no way around that, but maybe I will speed this part up in the final video. Just get those 12 screws out. Okay, we got all the screws out. Now the laser assembly should come off. And keep in mind, it has a little resistance to it because it's plugged in here and the motherboard here. Okay. Now we have the main part here and the laser assembly here. Let's put the main part aside for a moment and continue with the laser, because down here there should be more screws. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You don't absolutely have to do this because, but I will show you in a minute when I got those off. And by the way, you shouldn't put this on the table like so, and then undo the screws, because it will rest directly on the lens, and this is not a good idea. So you have to hold it basically in your hand and unscrew it. If your console isn't really, really dirty, I don't recommend this. But there is something underneath this metal shielding I want to show you guys. I will not, I will put this then together immediately again. That's why I'm putting the screws just on the table and not in my trusty ice cube tray. Okay, now we got them all out and we can take this metal plate off. And now underneath here is, I hope you can see that, there is a little screw here, this one. This is actually the screw that controls how much. I'm no engineer, okay, guys, but this is, I think, the screw that controls how much voltage that comes to the laser. So you can make little, if your disk reading isn't properly, or you can change very, very subtle changes to this screw, and it will change the speed the disk is spinning. And yeah, you can, don't don't try to manipulate it too much, because it will burn your laser out very fast. Um, just be aware they can, it's, you can also damage your system this way. But if you have problems and with the disk reading, you can maybe solve them this way too. Okay, then I immediately put the metal shielding back on here, if it wants to fit. Which way does it go? There we go. You can align it by this port, basically. And yes, I will put those screws back in, and as always, it's just screwing, so I will speed this part up in the final video. Okay, now it's back together. Put it aside and get the main console back in. So, how do we continue here? We have 6 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here on the metal shielding. Take those out. And those are different. Can you see that? They have a second ring here. And then I think we will be almost done. As now, or not. Gently pull it a little bit, but the GameCube motherboard should come out. This is the GameCube's motherboard. You can put that aside. And here we have just 2 more screws, not just 2 more screws. It's ridiculous how many screws are in this thing. 1, 2, and the metal shielding, the bottom metal shielding should come off. And now we are almost done. There is this metal spider looking thing coming out. This one just comes out. 2 metal prongs here and here. And this piece here is secured, of course, by 4 screws. 4 more screws. Very tiny ones. As always, guys, I just recommend using your preferred method to organize all those screws, because I think the ice cube tray method is very efficient. If you come to the next part of the console, you can always take the next ice cube tray. Or so these were the four screws here, and this whole thing comes out, and the last metal prong here. And we're down at the bottom plastic piece. So, as always, guys, collect all the plastic pieces, wash them under the sink with soapy water. You can use brushes like this one, or for the smaller parts, like this one, and use an old toothbrush. Clean them all up with soapy water, and then just put them somewhere and let them sit, let them air dry for at least a day. You do not want to put the console back together when it's still wet. For example, this bottom piece has lots of holes and uh, areas where water can remain in there for days. So really make sure it's completely dry. And for those metal pieces, yeah, you could wash them underwater as well. There is no electronics left on that, like this one and the small ones of the bottom. But I don't think it's really necessary unless your console is really, really dirty, which mine isn't. And yeah, so when you've done that, I won't show, of course, I won't go to the sink and show this on the video, because I think everyone is capable of doing that by himself. And you can see my console isn't dirty at all, because I did the cleaning years ago off screen, and take good care of my consoles. So it's not that dirty. Uh, the cleaning of the circuit parts we do as we put the console back together. Okay, then. Okay, guys, sorry about the little cut there. I had to put this out again because it wasn't wrong, but I think I should show this in a different order. Let's actually put those metal prongs back in first, and this too only fit one way, so you don't have to be worried. One back here, one here, and one here. These two, you can't put it in this way. It just doesn't fit. It only fits this way. So you can basically make no mistake there. And now this thing sits right into place. And now, excuse me for the cut, guys. As I often said in these cleaning videos, I'm no engineer. I don't do this for a living. It's just a hobby. So, but you don't for taking the GameCube apart, you don't have to be an engineer. As I said, I think a few minutes ago, it's a very good console to learn all this stuff a little bit, because it's very logically built. If you keep track of the screws, with the exception of the lid, which is horrible. Okay, now put in the metal spider thing here. Oh no, and this looks almost like a, don't know, some kind of other insect. this way. Okay, then we've got the bottom metal shielding. Again, just fits one way. Okay, so now we put the two screws back here in the middle of the console to fix the heat shielding. Okay, and then we can take the motherboard back in, but before we do that, use compressed air on it. Oh, there's some dust coming out of the memory card ports. If your card ports are really dirty, you can use Q-tips, and with the cleaning liquid you're using, there are multiple options. I on my videos, of course, the gold standard here is just cleaning alcohol because it basically cleans every kind of dirt away immediately and it dries immediately. But not everyone has that at home, so you can get it for cheap on Amazon. But you can also use a Q-tip and a little window cleaning solution, not too much. And with that, you can directly stick it into these ports and clean them off. And with the other side of the Q-tip, you can dry them off a little. And window cleaning solution also dries very, very fast. But you don't want to go directly on the contacts or on the capacitors and stuff. Um, okay, so the motherboard. You can also align a bit by the ports, and it should also sink right into place. No, put a little pressure on it, and now we put the six screws in the on the heat shield back together. And if you remember, they are different. They have a little, I don't know, like camera focuses. They are a little different. One. And the last one here. Okay. Now we need to put the laser assembly back on. Yes. You can align it with the port here. Has to go here. and needs to this port plug in. So there needs to be a little resistance. Just align it and gently push it down. And now, of course, I will speed this up in the final video again. We have those 12 or 13 screws around the whole heat shield to put back in. Okay, guys, those screws are back in. And now I realized again, it's really strange. Some person, some previous owner of this GameCube must have opened it up and lost two screws because there are two missing. They are all in on this side, all in but one on this side, and all in but one on the back side. So really, really strange. But as I said, there is 12, 13 screws in there. So if one or two is missing, that's actually not no problem at all. Now in the front, we need to put this back in. Do you remember? And these go. Yeah, see that? These go like this and like this. Ah. And now we need to fix those with those long thin screws. Fix that in place. There is four of them. This happens when you don't organize your screws properly. You lose some. And the fourth one, now those are back in. Here, 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 and here. So now is the proper time to clean the lens, maybe. Um, for cleaning the lens, you also like the same method I said before. Q-tip, little bit of rubber alcohol or window cleaning solution on it, and then you would just very gently rub it on the lens. Be very gentle with that, and with the other side, also really gently dry it off. This will totally be enough. You don't have to rub it or just gently wipe it off. Um, this is for the main console. Let's put this thing back together, the controller bay thing. It's a little yellowed, but it's not that bad, and it has also some scratches. But it's all not so. Which way does it go? Used to be the other way around, yes. Also fits just one way, and it was secured with two screws. For the controller ports as well, Q-tips with with your preferred cleaning solution, isopropyl alcohol, or window cleaning solution. Okay. So now we have two more screws out of the way, but we will not put that in yet. Let's leave it at the side because I want to put in the fan first. And yeah, I have a little brush here of an old shaver of mine, and you can get some dust off of it too. You can use, again, Q-tips with window cleaning solution. Just make sure that there is not too much moisture getting in there, not too much liquid. And then we need to put the fan back in on this side, of course, because that's what this cable is for. I hope I can do that backwards. No, I can't. How is it? It is the back of the console, so it has to go this way. Sorry, guys, I need to turn it around. I can't see what I'm doing. Does it not fit? It's really strange. Did I forget something? No. Hmm. Oh, it's just this cable needs to go through here. No, now it fits. Did I make a mistake? I think I did make a mistake, guys. That's why it's not fitting. And that is those screws. There's you see, as I said in my Dreamcast video, those are just, yeah, mistakes can happen. It's not it's not a problem. Just take 2 screws back out, align the cable correctly, and now the fan sits perfectly into place, like so. I had to take this screw and this screw back out again, put the fan in, put the cable through this hole here, and we can plug the cable back in here, and now we just fix it with those 2 screws again. That's also the reason why I won't cut these mistakes out like in the Dreamcast video, because it can happen, and can even happen to those people that open up those consoles regularly. And we can put in the back piece this way, just align it. Those metal clamps just fits right on there. Then the front piece. Excuse me, I need to wipe off some sweat. Front piece also has those plastic clamps on the side, but do you remember we also need to plug this cable back in, and it plugs in here, plugs into the motherboard. Just get the ribbon and line it up and gently push it down, and it should, without much pressure at all, should fit right in there. And then align the rest with the plastic clamps, and boom, it's back on. And we have the console back together so far. All that's left now is the lid. And I told you the lid is a problem if you don't know what you're doing, and because there is it's so cramped in there. Okay. The lid. First of all, put the buttons back in. Doesn't matter if you can't remember which button fits where, because they all fit just in one hole. This, I think, is this button. This has some diagonal shape, so it has to be this button. Yes. And the gray one has some square shape, so it only fits here in the back. Push it in. Okay, now we have our 3 buttons back in. Let's start with the easy stuff. This translucent thing goes here in the front. It sinks right into place, and it is secured with 2 screws. One. And 2. Then the back right piece is this piece, this black piece. And which way does it go? Okay, before we put that in, let's actually get the lid and just align the black piece and push it in. So it clicks right into place. And then we align it so, and we put it down on the table this way. Okay, now we get this black piece and this little knob here. has to go, so it goes in this way, I think, because this little knob has to go in the lid. And it should align itself like that. Can you guys see that? I know with this, and it's supposed to be secured by one screw. I notice all these things will be kind of hard to see. So I try to hold it up to the camera. So, of course, the thing is still loose, but we put it in like this with this little knob facing here. Then the next thing is the open button. You have this weird looking thing, and of course it goes in here. It sinks right into place, but we need to also get the spring in there, of course. So align the spring like that. You need to get it through this hole. There is a hole there. Can you see that? Through that hole and on the plastic as well. That is not correct. So now it is in like that. And then you push the spring a little back here, and then in there. So there has to be, of course, some pressure on the spring, and else it won't work. Why does it not fit? Why doesn't it fit? Oh, it also damaged my glove already. Why does it not fit? Ah, now it's in. I secure it with the two different screws, this ones. And then I will show you guys a close-up. So this was the first of the two problems with the lid, because those springs are always kind of finicky to get back in. The second screw here in the front. Now it's back in, and I hope you can see that a little. Here the spring pushes, if you so will, against the plastic lid. And that's how the whole mechanism works. Then all we have left is, oh, we have two pieces left. This piece. Okay, there needs to be, get the screw out for a moment, but it looks like it's secured by three screws, but it's actually just the one in the middle here. And you have this black piece, okay? You have to align it, put the spring on like so, and this way. Yeah. Then you put this thing this way into the GameCube. Put no pressure on it yet. And if you, it's kind of stupid, but it should sink right into place if you've done it correctly. That might take me a bit. Okay, I think this works. Sorry guys, I have to wipe the sweat off again. And you see that how it's in now. The black piece is standing right up, and the spring is down here. Now we have to get the other black piece. Of course, the gear has to be aligned with the other gear, and there is a little plastic hole, a place exactly here where this little knob has to go. It's actually not that hard to put this gear in the right place. It won't fit. I think my spring isn't in the correct spot. Now it is. My spring was blocking, so because it wasn't incorrectly. The spring has to go. It's so hard to see, guys. Next to where the black piece goes. So now it looks like this. Here is the black gear, and the spring is underneath there. And there is not no pressure on it yet. So now we put the pressure on it by pulling this black piece down and align it correctly with a little push. I can't let go now because it will spring out. There is a little plastic knob you can align it with. And now don't let go, of course. We now need to secure this whole thing with a screw, the middle hole. And now it's back in. Looks like this. Let's see if it works. Yes, it does. Then there's only one easy thing left, the handle. Let's get the handle back in. Second screw. Okay. Then there is this thing. There are prongs down here, 1, 2, and 3. Just align it and push it down a little. It should just sits on there. And that comes into place like that. And actually now, somehow, I too must have miscounted my screws, because they are now all back in the lid. And I have 2 screws left. This is how this goes sometimes. then I actually can put those screws in the places because these are the same ones where they were missing before. Somehow I must have miscounted somewhere. Don't know. Sorry for the former owner of the console. It did not lose a screw. I did. Okay. Put the back piece back on. So now we can put the lid back on. This will work. Turn it around and put these things back together. They too fit just one way. And then finish this thing with the 4 game bit screws. You know, need the other screwdriver again. That's sadly not magnetic. Let's just put the screws in the holes. And then secure them. Okay, and that's it, guys. This is here we have our GameCube back together. Now, if you know my videos, uh, you can. I haven't done that with this GameCube yet because this is not my main GameCube. I have 2 of those. It has some scuff marks here, for example. I don't know if how well you can see that on camera. Maybe not that great. There is a scratch here. Those are scratches that are in the plastic, so they won't come off with washing under the sink. In this case, you can use something like this. This is like a cleaning sponge. I think it's called Magic Sponge or something like that. It's basically a really fine sandpaper with a little bit of solution in it. And of course, when the console is still apart, um, you can rub it across those scratches and they should come off. Um, However, don't do that with the silver GameCube. You can do that with every other color, but not with the silver one, because this, for example, this GameCube is made out of purple plastic. The other one I have is made out of black plastic, but the silver one is actually the only one that's made out of gray plastic, and then there is silver paint put on it. So if you use the sandpaper on it, the paint will come off. And you also have to be careful with logos and stuff because that will be removed as well. And uh, then for just the finishing touch, if you want to, you can use a polish. I use Pronto. You can see it in the picture next to me. It brings a nice shine out of it. You spray it on a paper towel and then rub it around all sides of the console, and it will bring out the nice shine to it. And yeah, guys, this is the end of my GameCube video. Uh, I think there will be another one coming soon, but I won't tell yet what this is going to be about. So, yeah, this is the end of the video. Okay, okay, guys, this was the cleaning video of the Nintendo GameCube. I hope it was informative for you, and yeah, As I said, I think I said that at the end of the video, there may be another GameCube video coming soon, but I won't take the surprise away yet. And yeah, I hope it was informative for you. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.